I was just sitting out in the park drinking coffee and babbling for like 20 solid minutes. Just babbling, man. I used to do that all the time. I'd babble to my camera. I'd do like 20 videos in a day, and I'd post, one of me being goofy with Aquila at the Delta. But then I would then watch all my thoughts back, and I'd watch myself think things out. I was telling Don recently that I've one particular video I watched my mind change completely, my attitude change. I realized I was talking alone. I mean, when you're alone, you can just say whatever the hell you want, right? And as long as you don't put it on the internet. But even then, the reason I put it up on the internet is because I want to hear what I said later, and I want to hear what I was thinking, at whatever age I am. What's going on here? Oh, the battery's almost dead. Anyway, one of the things that I said, and even as I said it just now on that video, was, is it wrong to want to be free? Because it really freaks out a few of the people that are close to me. Like, you get in that whole, like, well, adults have to. In life you have to do a lot of things. Like, you fill in the blanks. And I'm like, what if I want to be free, though? What if I want to be my own master? Like, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? Like, I might experience poverty. I might get hungry. Like, I've been poor and hungry a lot. It's not great, but sometimes it's not even bad, Like that story I told way back in the day where they wanted me to come in and work on my day off, and I'll say I'll do it for an extra meal. And they're like, oh yeah, you'll get your shift meal. I'm like, no, I mean an extra meal where I come in on my day off and you guys feed me. Because I was just working out a way I could have one meal that week. And I think back on that as a kind of a moment of pride, of standing up for myself. I'm like, well, it sounds like you don't want a shift covered. So I finally ponied up a meal, and after that was the rule, man. Every time they fought it, every time they gave in. It was almost like kind of like a challenge, like a different manager called me. He's like, oh, he's not getting a free meal out of me, and he will be here. They even threatened me once. I guess there's a thing, like, I've heard about this, and I think it's true, that you could be arrested. Certain businesses could have you arrested if you're critical to their business. I just don't think, a restaurant employee, that's covered. But he used that threat. Like, well, you know where the cops could come find me? I didn't take it seriously, and I got my meal. Yeah, so, it's not great being fucking hungry, but that's a great moment in my life of standing up for myself and advocating for myself. And on that one day I got off that week, I rode my bike, because I couldn't afford gas, all the way to my business again and sat down and had dinner. It was delicious. Tastes like victory. So, but even I'm afraid, even as I said it, I'm afraid to be free. I'm afraid to try for freedom. Buy land, put a building on it. That's just yours now. Like, the property taxes out there are nothing. I could put enough money in the bank that would cover the property taxes for the rest of my foreseeable future. So don't touch that property tax money, right? It's all paid for. No one's going to take it. It's just mine. And then anything you do after that is about just feeding yourself, right? Can you somehow work out a way to have food year round? I think maybe I can, and if I can't, I could go get a job that makes me miserable. But goddamn, is it all right to want to be free? Is it okay to want to give it a shot? And by freedom, I mean literally freedom, like not being an indentured servant beholden to another company or person. Someone that could tell you no about anything. No about going to the bathroom. Sorry, you have to wait for your break. We're real busy right now. No for needing to take Thursday through next Wednesday off because there's a wedding out in Utah. No, sorry, it's a very busy time of the year. You're going to have to miss that wedding. Missed a wedding for you? I have to sacrifice my whole life to have a life? That's not living a life, really. I mean, I get that. I mean, that is the way I've been living my life all my life. So what I mean is, it's not that you shouldn't have a job and you shouldn't work for people. But what I mean is, like, you could also have the freedom, the permission to be independent as much as possible from all the other systems. I mean, I even dream about getting rid of my car just so I don't have to deal with insurance companies and oil change places and go to the gas pump and blah, 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 blah. Buy wipers. I don't want to be forced to be connected to another company. I was watching this guy sell kettle corn. He was so happy. Just selling kettle corn to people all day long. Just sugary popcorn. People giving him money. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, what am I afraid of? You know? Am I afraid of going hungry? I've been hungry. And all the times where I've been without a job or homeless or poor, I always worked out a way to eat. Remember the Sweeties? This is the other old story that I really love. I went in once to Little Caesars Pizza. They normally sell 2 pizzas at a time. And I walked in there and I was going to get my 2 pizzas. And the guy's like, hey, do you like this pizza? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I'll give you this pizza for half off. And I'm like, why? He's like, well, someone ordered it and they never came to get it. And if I don't sell it in a certain amount of time, we have to throw it in the trash. I'm like, I'll take your pizza for half off. And then so I started going in there and I'm like, hey, has anyone forgot to pick up pizzas? I'd always ask that. And they're like, no. I'm like, okay, then I order my pizza. And then one day they said, why do you always ask about that? And I told them, well, once I got a pizza for half off. And it really made a difference. I had money left over, and normally I don't have any money left over after I pay for my food. And they asked me a couple questions. They verified my poverty. I worked right across the street from them too. And after that, there would be these mysterious pizzas that were free now. Not all the time, just every once in a while. Like maybe they worked out a deal, like for every 3 pizzas, like maybe I make 2 free pizzas a month. So every 3 weekends, I would show up to buy a pizza for my 2 days off. That would be my food for 2 days. They would then kick in 2 free pizzas. They were Sweeties. But yeah, man, like, she just worked something out, right? Maybe you have goats. You're out in the middle of nowhere on property. Maybe you get goats. They just run around and munch on all that desert scrub stuff. And then you conk one of them on the noggin, and you got I don't know how big goats get. Pretty big. Remember they're talking about like you hike with a goat, they could carry like 20 or 30% of their body weight, and so like they were holding like 30 pounds of camping gear or 40 pounds of camping gear, and some of them were pretty big. They look like pony sized. So I don't know how much meat that is. Shit. Oh, goat milk. I might be the kind of guy that wakes up, chases down a bunch of goats, milks them, gets a gigantic big pitcher of milk, and just drink that. That might just be my food for the day. Big old belly full of goat milk. This battery's got to be about ready to die. Freedom!